don't know if you want, I can make an initial statement. Obviously, we're excited about Sunday and excited about this community and the buzz for women's basketball. I think we're at 800 season tickets, which is double what we were last year. And now to start real games, we're excited to have the community come out and support this team. I think it's going to be a really fun style of basketball. I think you saw that last night. I don't know how many women's basketball teams are scoring 120 points, but that's pretty exciting for our program and for this community to have some people. We talk about going into battle, and we definitely have some bullets in our gun. We have some weapons that we can use. And obviously, we got a long way to go and a lot of learning, and you're never as good as you think you are at times. You're never as bad as well, and I think that probably applies to last night. We got a long way to go and lots of things to learn, but our kids are enjoying it, and it's been fun to practice with them. I thought the week between the 2 exhibition games was our best week of practice of the year, and as long as we continue to do that, we'll continue to grow and get better.
How did that happen? Clicking? Was it?
Yeah, I got to give a lot of credit to Coach DeVilbiss. His drive and his intensity level is so high that one of the things we ask our players, allow us to stretch you. Allow us to, comfort is not the goal of our practices. And allow us to teach you and stretch you and coach you in a way that's going to take you outside of your comfort zone. And if you ask our players, and I know Kirsten, someone asked Kirsten, you look forward to the games? She said, yeah, they're way easier than practice. And so that's part of the goal. Practice needs to be hard, it needs to be intense, and we want our players to be ready for battle.
Men's team starts Friday, you guys start a couple days later. It's got to be a pretty exciting time for you guys right now.
Yeah, it is. And as a coach, you're always preparing for that kind of the next step. But it is an exciting time of year, and I'm really excited for John and his program to get tipped off. And obviously 2 new coaches and 2 coaches that are trying to do the right things to establish our programs. So it's kind of a fun time of year, and I know football games Saturday as well. So busy time of year for all the sports, and really fun to be a part of it.
How have you changed the current roster to where they weren't doing the same things last year as they're doing already now in the first 2 exhibition games?
Yeah, what style of play, you mean? Kind of? Yeah, our style is different. And I know I read something in ESPN yesterday, well, they're going to bring the Green Bay style. Well, we've kind of adjusted our style a little bit to the current players. I think it's really important that you look at what you have. And what we have is a high degree of athleticism. And so we've gotten rid of our secondary break, and now we're running a numbered break that's really quick and aggressive. We've simplified so much of what we do offensively because Tarkanian said the more you think, the slower your feet. And so we're trying to keep it really simple for these players so that they're not thinking. They can just go out and play and rely on their instincts. And that's what we're trying to do, is put them in positions. And then in practice, he asked about practice earlier, we're make drills that set up where they have to play mentally quick. When you play 2-on-2 full court, if you don't make quick mental transitions, you stand out quickly. And in that drill, it just teaches you have to do that. We do so much full court stuff, so much transition stuff. They have to make quick mental transitions. And that's what the exciting point. And you asked about practice being better. That's been, our mental transitions are getting better. We're physically very gifted, but there's a lot of teams. They were physically gifted last year. That doesn't mean they play that way, or they play mentally quick. And now they're starting to play mentally quick because they're comfortable with what we're doing, and the repetitions really helped.
What's it mean for you to have your first game coming up here?
Probably means I'll be a little more restless. But I think, the first game is, the first exhibition game is hard. The first game's hard because it's the unknown. That's a hard thing as a coach, is not knowing how your players are going to respond to different situations. Evansville's going to double big on big in the post, something in the exhibition games we didn't see. And so, can Charisma pass out of a double team? Can we get her in situations quick enough where she can score before the other double team gets there? As a coach, you're wondering about those things and trying to prepare. Certainly there's a degree of excitement with that to see where we're at. But as a coach, you want to be prepared, and so that's what I'm spending my free time thinking about is what are we doing to make sure that we're as prepared as possible. And as a coach, I don't think you ever feel prepared for your first game. You always wonder, are we ready for this or that? And I think most coaches, if they were honest with you, would tell you, we're excited for it, but we don't feel necessarily totally ready.
Did you learn anything or see anything from your team that you saw when they finally faced opposition instead of just scrimmaging against each other?
Yeah, I think just being under lights is anxious to see. And, one of the things we don't look as good in practice as we have now. Obviously, exhibition basketball is very relative, and the 2 teams we played aren't as good as the teams we're going to play. But in practice, you know, I said yesterday, Sarah Hartwell, who's a transfer from Georgia Tech, and Adrian Godbold, they're two of the best practice kids in the whole country. There is nobody that's practicing against quicker, more athletic, better players than those two. And, you know, they can't play this first semester, and so like we do a 4-on-4 shell. We put those two out there, and then we put two really quick guys out there to guard. Well, there isn't anybody we play all year that's going to be better than those four. When those four are driving the ball and kicking it and getting to the rim, it's really hard to guard. And if we can guard, we can look decent against those four. Now we add a fifth player to that, all of a sudden, boy, defense got a lot easier. And that's been probably the most exciting, is getting the exhibition games, seeing how quick and athletic we look, because we don't always see that in practice because of who we're going against. Our practice integrity is really good.
Coach, I've asked you this before, but what are your thoughts on Gino Auriemma's comments about lowering the rims in women's basketball?
Yeah, I'm not for it. I don't know that our game needs a lot of fixing, honestly. You know, I think people enjoy the game. The one thing I would agree with is that we need to be thinking about ways to make it better. We need to think about ways to add more scoring, make the game faster, you know, so that we can continue to draw more fans, because it's a very competitive market. You know, I think